This episode is brought to you by Leo Bato and Associates, ang realtor na patok.
Visit abaeservices.com for fast medical transcription service. This podcast episode is brought to you by AB Music Creative.
Paano nagsimula tong Cafe 86?
So Cafe 86 started mga 2014. Back then, James was working a corporate job selling government computers. Ako, stay-at-home mom. Nag-aalaga ng 2 bata.
Saan kayo nakatira nito?
Chino Hills.
Chino Hills na. Okay.
Yeah, Chino Hills. At that point, napag-usapan na parang pagod na siya doing his corporate job and wanted to have something of his own, our own. And at that time, mahilig talaga siya pumunta ng car meet. Because he drives an AE86, a Toyota Corolla. So that's kind of giving you a clue on why it's called Cafe 86.
86.
So he did like going to all these car meets here in San Gabriel.
Teka, nabila ako na windang. Sorry, I'm ADHD moment. James, nasa iyo pa ba yung Toyota na to? Naka-set up pa rin? Sheesh, naghahanap ako ng 77 na SR eh.
Siya tanungin mo.
Oh my God.
Derailed.
Kailangan, sorry Ginger. Kailangan magkaroon tayo ng episode na si James naman nandito. Okay. Back to regular programming. Okay, tapos?
So mahilig siyang mag-attend ng car meets. And then he said, you know what? I think good idea na mag-open tayo ng boba shop. Maybe let's franchise something. So at that point, I think he was looking into Tapioca Express.
Ikaw, anong pumapasok sa isip mo? Tanda mo, housewife ka nito, di ba?
Because yun ang mag-alaga ng mga anak ko. So I'm like, are you serious? Sabi niya, hindi, kaya natin yan, madali lang yan. So let's try to franchise. So he looked into the franchise model of like Tapioca Express. And then, sabi niya, parang ayoko yung franchise model.
While he was doing this, what was on your mind? Anong iniisip mo? Parang sana passing fancy lang to.
Because sana magising siya. Pero like, pinursu talaga niya. Sabi niya, I think instead of doing a franchise, let's try to figure out how to do it on our own. How hard could it be?
Now, yung anxiety mo, kumusta naman nung iniisip niyo to?
Medyo nawindang ako nun. But, at the same time, I get what he was trying to do. So, sabi ko, baka naman lumipas to. So, we went ahead. Right? We went ahead gawa ng business plan, no?
So, pinagbigyan mo lang. In other words, sige, kamutin natin yung kate
yung kate mo. Gawa ng business plan. Seryoso siya. I had to work with him on that. Like, oh my God.
Ano produkto?
Boba shop.
Okay, so in other words, hindi nyo produkto. Diba?
No, boba shop. But then I said, since ako ang in charge dito, let's make it different. Kasi if we're gonna open...
So ikaw ang sinangkalan niya talaga.
Sabi ko, kung gagawa tayo ng concept na to, it has to be different from the million other boba shops that's out there selling the same thing.
So in other words, na-hook ka niya kasi once na nag-suggest ka, involved ka na eh. Di ba?
Oo.
Okay.
Vested na yung interest ko.
Yes. Good job, James. Tapos,
sabi ko, we have to be different. So, how do we be different? I said, why don't we sell Filipino flavors? Like, I love ube. Ube was my vanilla growing up, so let's introduce something different. Ube. So let's do ube milkshakes and calamansi iced teas and all that.
So now, this was a partnership na. Dati, kinakamot mo lang yung gusto niyang gawin. Ngayon, ikaw na nagsasuggest. So, nagiging passion project nyo ng dalawa.
Yeah, naging passion project namin na let's open the shop in Chino Hills where we live. 15-seater lang naman. Pupunuin lang natin yung 15 seats. Sana mapuno. We were supposed to, ang goal was, I remember the business plan said, I think, to sell like $700 a day.
A day? What was the exposure to start this? How much?
Back then, I think it was...
Now, 2014 na to, no?
2014. I think mga nasa 150.
150,000.
Kasi,
so in other words, 150 na inipon nyo o ilo-loan nyo?
Bahay.
So that's really commitment.
Yeah.
Yan, di ba?
Yeah.
Commitment yan.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we started that. Ang goal namin was to have a venue for him to have his regular car meets. So in his head, if we have a weekly car meet, kaya to.
So kailangan may parking space.
Oo, laki ng parking. Big part of opening a Cafe 86 is big parking. Because without the car meet, it's not a Cafe 86. big. That's the heart and soul of Cafe 86. It all began because of the car meets.
700 cups a day or items a day.
Dollars.
$700 a day. Okay.
So that's a lot of boba cups.
Magkano ba boba? $3?
Back then, as a 325
Okay.
kami nagsimula.
Oh my God, yeah.
That 2014. So we were about to open with just the drinks and sandwiches, and then about maybe a week prior to opening, sabi niya, wala tayo ipapakain. It's like, what do you mean? Ayun na yung boba, nguyain nila. Diba? sabi niya, no, like desserts. Sabi niya, you bake because I bake. That was my thing. Sabi niya, maybe you should try to bake something.
Na Jedi ka, no?
Na Jedi mind to kombucha. So, sabi niya, bake ka. Sabi ko, again, I can't bake anything normal. I'm gonna bake something different.
Nice.
Which was, again, ube. So the first two items that we made back then was actually top three was ube cinnamon rolls, the ube truffle, the original version, and then Thai tea brownies.
Thai tea brownies.
Yeah. Back then in 2014, nobody made any of those things. Because we checked, we Googled everything to make sure it's all original to Cafe 86. So, ube cinnamon rolls, ube truffles, and Thai tea brownies.
Napapatent ba to?
Hindi. Unfortunately, food is non-proprietary.
Okay.
So, okay lang.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Nasa yan? Ingredients yan eh.
Okay,
so tatlo, flagship, Thai tea brownies, original ube truffles. Ano yung isa pa?
Ube cinnamon rolls.
Ube cinnamon rolls. So wala yung mga popcorn chicken, wala yung mga fried tofu,
wala. Regular sweets lang talaga. So we opened that day with the big car meet of the 86ers. Dami nila. A couple of hundred people came by. Kami as a new business, we're zoned in on only trying to make the business work.
Yeah.
Wala kaming iniisip kundi
paliparin lang to
and make sure that we're able to, pay the bills. So unbeknownst to us, like throughout the weeks, papansin namin the foot traffic was growing. And then naturally you ask, saan kayo galing? Like you can't all be just from Chino Hills. Where'd you how'd you find out about us? Where'd you drive from? So we were starting to hear things like, we drove all the way from Pasadena, which is like too far from Chino Hills for you to drive for a drink. Oh, we came from Pasadena. Oh, we came from LA. We came from Glendale. We came from Cerritos. So sabi namin, paano nila nalalaman? And then people would mention, you're on Instagram. Back then, di pa kami active on social media. Sabi lang, so Instagram, you guys have not seen what's going on? Sabi namin, no. Then we started to zone in on social media like, oh shit. Like things are going viral. And back then, the concept of influencers was also so new.
Correct.
So hindi rin namin kilala sino sila, right?
Yeah.
So they'd come,
Mag-vlog sila.
Yeah, vlog, do
picture.
a post, and then people would come. So the growth that we experienced because the baking was not part of the original business plan. I was baking out of my house.
So walang commissary
wala. Sa bahay namin, I had a single door oven. Kasya lang 2 tray.
What? So parang lumalabas
Parang
na.
joke eh.
Oh.
Yeah, like, what do you mean you want me to bake 100 pieces that time? Like, it was like unreal that he's asking me to make 150 cinnamon rolls. I'm like, are you kidding? 2 tray, 6 lang kasya sa isang tray. So eventually he had to buy like a second oven. And then yung living room namin naging commissary kitchen. Naging warehouse.
Are you still in the same house?
Yes, we're still in the same house.
Okay.
Naging commissary kitchen, naging warehouse. And it was just unreal na, oh my God, di na kami natutulog. Kasi
How many months from the opening?
did we get that oven? 4 months maybe?
Oh my God. Anong goal sa business plan? Were you supposed to make revenue or profit within 6 months, 3 months? Ano ba?
I think the ROI was expected in I would say 3 years maybe.
3 years? Wow.
Yeah, like the
super
realistic-
conservative.
like sana mapuno yung 15 seats, But yeah, like I said, it got busier and busier to the point that I think before we hit the first year, maybe at month 8, we were already considering opening Pasadena.
And James was still working.
James was still working, full-time job. After his full-time job, he would come to work at the cafe. Kasi kami naman, me and my niece who opened the store with us would work from opening till the time James would come, which was like 6. Which means it's my turn to go home, take the kids home, and bake.
And bake?
Yeah. So uuwi kami ng niece ko at 6, feed the kids, homework, ligo, bedtime, and then we bake till about mga 3 in the morning.
Okay, I'm gonna pick your brain because it sounds easy when we're talking about it. Now let's go deep by. I want to know what was the state of mind when you started this, while this was happening. Kasi walang off switch to eh.
Wala.
May 150 na loan, $150,000 guys, sa kayo na mag-compute nun, against the house, right? This has to come back in some way or another.
It was survival mode, I think. And just really trying to make sure that we're able to deliver the
And
goods.
there were kids involved.
And then be a parent. So
Right.
you can imagine the laban, the struggle, because trying to maintain the business, a new business, trying to maintain a marriage with someone you're trying to fight with every day.
Yes.
But still trying to maintain the quality of life for 2 kids.
How old were they at the time?
Leah was, I think she was 5. Jaden was about 7.
So pag naglalak ka sa pantry na ikaw lang mag-isa, anong conversation ang meron mo sa sarili mo during your
Bakit
quiet
namin ginawa to?
It was really like that.
Yeah. Is this worth it? Kaya ba namin to, Why are we opening a second one? So,
How do you overcome self-doubt, yung mga ganon?
he will be the one to overcome the self-doubt, because I would always be the one questioning, like, why? Are you sure? Kaya ba natin? But he would always say, yes, kaya natin.
So how important is it, and this is para sa mga couples, to involve your spouse in every decision making?
Well, it's got to be a team, it's teamwork. So it has to be mutually agreed upon. Kasi if hindi kayo mag-agree, how will the team work, right?
So paano corporate meeting yung dalawa?
Anong corporate meeting? Sabi ko, so anak sa'yo, bro. Nasa bahay ka, nasa banyo ka. So work, kasama pa kita.
Tapos, okay, so store number 2 bumukas.
Yeah, we opened,
In less than a year.
by 2015, we opened Pasadena.
Oh my God, 1 year.
Yeah, 1 year. And then with Pasadena, then we would get that same cycle of people walking in and saying, you're so far from where I live. We wish you would open closer to us.
May kitchen na to.
At this point, we opened a small commissary kitchen.
Okay, so may...
And hired
So in other
makers.
words, commissary is Pasadena na nagde-deliver na sa Chino.
No, the commissary remained in Chino.
Wow.
Kasi that's where we live.
Okay, main commissary.
Talagang dyan. We
So
wanted
talagang-
to plant it in Chino kasi
Okay.
tiga dun kami. So now the commissary was delivering to Chino and Pasadena.
Pero hindi na sa living room.
Hindi na. Hindi na puno ng harina yung bahay namin. Puno talaga ng harina.
Malamang. I
Yeah.
can only imagine.
Yeah.
Tapos,
And then, yun na nga, the same pattern of foot traffic mentioning that they wish they would
so
open.
2014. So Goldilocks was still around while you guys were making pastries.
I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Goldilocks was still there. And then, but we always considered ourselves really different. We have a lot
Right.
of respect for the more
OG.
OGs because that's something that we don't really want to touch.
Yes.
And we respect that and we appreciate and we still support that. to
Kumbaga
this
yung
day.
lane na yon hindi nyo pinuntahan.
Yeah,
Dito tayo.
that's not my wheelhouse.
Oh.
So we really wanted to go a different route where it's a little different, but because laki akong Pilipinas, I know what ube was like and I know exactly what I ate back then, yung mountain-made na ube halaya na galing sa
I was gonna
Baguio.
say,
That
yung-
was my biggest inspiration.
Diba?
Yeah.
Good Shepherd na.
Good Shepherd.
Pucha, patayan yun. Sarap.
Yeah.
So my wife is Kapampangan and I've
Ah,
seen
so am I.
I've seen you guys do the
Yeah.
halaya thing. It's not a joke, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We still do that to this day at the bakery. The basis of
Sabi na nga ba eh. Kasi nung tinikman ko yung ube, sabi ko, totoo to. Hindi ito yung powder na...
well, you could use the powder
Right.
but make halaya out of
Yes,
it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. No, what I mean is yung, alam mo yung powder na lagyan ng tubig,
Yeah. So lahat ng most of our recipes is based on ube halaya, and that's really important for us to be able to do that. So ngayon naghahanap kami ng robot na magmimix ng halaya.
Ando na tayo sa robot
Sana.
na. Okay. So Pasadena, 2015.
2015 Pasadena, then we got that same demand, same foot
So
traffic.
exponential na ang growth nito.
Yeah, well, I guess you can call it exponential because within the next year we were opening yung Artesia location namin.